Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. It's a cold, gray day outside here in mid-Michigan. I am getting ready to do a little bit of tidying up in the yard. My name's Soleil and I love gardening. I love caring for houseplants indoor. So today we're outside, it's cold, it's the end of the season, and I've got a lot of hostas that are dead. And I'm going to go around and pull them out and just show you how easy it is to tidy things up. I do like to get hostas out of the bed before winter, but I do wait because I don't like to cut each one of them singly. And the method that I use is simply a wiggle and a tug, and they come right off. So hopefully I can demonstrate that for you today successfully, and you'll see just how easy it is. Everything that I pick up today is going to go right into my compost pile to make some more compost for next year. Let's get started. I'm also just going to throw these pumpkins in right here because they're getting rotten, and those will go over our back hill so that we can feed the deer that eat other things, but we want them to eat these for sure. All right, so let's see what happens with these hostas here. They look pretty good. They're coming up nice and easy, just a little wiggle and a tug. And I'm just leaving the leaves that are in my beds over the winter because there's not a lot of them, and they'll just protect the roots and they'll break down. I see a little starburst wrapper there from Halloween. Now, if you want to leave your hostas over winter, you can. I just find they make a big mess and they don't really do anything to protect the plant or the crown of the plant over the winter. So if they're not doing anything beneficial, I like to clean up some of the things that I can before winter so that when spring comes, I don't have a huge mess to deal with. And if I pick up some leaves off the bed while I'm doing this, that's fine. Now, if you have a freshly planted hosta that you just planted this fall, I don't recommend this gentle tug and pull method, just because the roots do need to be pretty stable in order to utilize it. You don't want to pull a plant that you just put in the ground right back out, okay? All right, well, I'm going to finish this bed up and then we'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Nothing like a little exercise and getting out in the fresh air to help brighten things up on a dreary day, right? We've been trying out a new microphone, you guys. I don't know if you noticed, this is the second video we're making with it. So let me know if the audio, if you think it's better, if you don't like it as much. I noticed that you can hear my voice maybe better, but you may not be able to hear some of the sounds of nature, which there's not as many because the birds are kind of gone and not chirping. So I don't know if you'll be able to hear the birds and the rustling of the leaves and those kind of things as much. But let me know. I'm interested in hearing your feedback. I'm also curious, do you guys do most of your cleanup in the fall or do you do most of it in the spring? I find that a lot of people do in different ways. And for me, a lot depends on the weather, what I'm able to get done in the fall. Like if it had started snowing before my hostas died back, I probably would wait until the spring to clean them up because it's so much easier, like I said, as I'm walking through here and just pulling them out. This bed probably has the most hostas of any of the beds that I have. So I thought I would start out here and work my way into the back, into the woodland garden. One of the reasons I like to demonstrate this kind of thing is because some people might think it's kind of too aggressive to do and be afraid that they're going to hurt their plants. But it's actually much easier to let nature do the work. And I guarantee you'll be so happy you did. Well, it's a good thing I'm almost done with this bed because the cart is almost full, given that I have these pumpkins in here. Oops, just grabbed a plant tag from a bulb. Alright, I've got a pretty full cart now, so we're going to go ahead and empty it. But first I want to show you what the bed looks like now that it's cleaned out. Everything looks like a much nicer, tidier bed. And the leaves look lovely scattered about between all of the hellebores and the geraniums. But no hostas that are dying back anymore. This is an awesome mix of greens and browns because there's still a little bit of water in these hostas. And I'm just putting this in the same bin that we took the compost out of in my compost harvesting video. So this is going to be great. Get it going for next spring. It won't do much over the winter. But it will do something. And I'll try to remember, if I can, to show you what this bin looks like now and then in the spring after the winter and not really adding anything more to it, so you can see what happens over the winter time with the debris that I'm adding right now. Okay. All right, here we go, feeding the deer. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing and work on tidying up the back, and then we'll show you what it looks like. Well, I'm all done with that part. Let me show you what we have accomplished. So just to reiterate, in this bed, which is pretty much brand new this year with the hostas, I am not doing the little tug and pull method. I'm simply leaving them because I want their roots to make sure that they're not disrupted. And so we'll just let those be. But you can see everything is looking much cleaner, and I actually really like the look of the leaves in my beds. It just looks like a really nice natural setting, and it again is going to be feeding the soil. Because these honeysuckle bushes that I have really small and very thin leaves, I don't worry about cleaning those up. I don't worry about them being too thick because there's not too many of them. They're very pretty on the ground. I will probably blow them out of the pathways, but they'll be just fine in the beds because they break down really easy and really quickly over time. And one of the cool things about doing this cleanup in the fall, one of the pros to it, is that you start to see some of the things that are evergreen or semi-evergreen, like the geraniums start to stand out, or some of the hellebores that are in the back, and they'll become more and more evident as time goes on. Boxwoods, for instance. And these will not go dormant for some time, like the leaves, because they're so hardy. And you can see the heucherellas are really showing right now because they are semi-evergreen here. And so you'll see the different colors of those throughout the winter. And it will be fun to come out here in the winter and show you a little bit about what my garden looks like when there's snow and when there's not snow, because I have done a lot of things over the years to try to really improve some of the winter interest in my garden. Foxgloves are another plant that will show up for most of the winter months as well. And then finally down here at the end of this garden bed, these are hopscotch fun and games heucheras. You can see they almost look like a red rover heuchera now that they've gotten cold. It's a very beautiful color. Well, thanks again for joining me for one of our last fall cleanup videos. There might be one more, but our next video is probably going to be indoors working a little with houseplants, because I have some to propagate, some to repot, and some other things that I need to do indoors to tend to those plants. So I hope you'll join me for that. See you next time. Bye.